I thought the way the lads stuck at the job, that was pretty pleasing. We could have, I think, the start of the second half there, they we anticipated that they would try and win back some momentum, and I thought they did for a part of that first spell after half time, and but the guys managed to wrestle it back and manage it well enough that it wasn't didn't cause too much damage, but so that was the pleasing part, and then obviously then going on with the performance, finishing off the performance. So that was a pleasing aspect.
Did you have to address the emotion around the occasion today?
Yeah, we did actually, because last night Jazz, who's from Christchurch actually, so he we had a team dinner, and he pointed out that he felt a bit heavy in the head, and so the boys sort of called together to say a prayer, and David he led that, so just about I guess a bit just to get it off their chest, and if lads had any issues around it or needed to talk to anyone around it about getting that off their chest. So it was addressed. It was the same thing today. This morning the meeting prior to coming here about I guess in the events of the last 24 30 hours, the last couple of days, there hasn't been a great deal to smile about. So the lads were really keen to put in a performance that could make some people smile anyway.
So do you think it translated a little bit into the performance?
Again, it was we had a fair bit of that today. If I'm talking about from an emotional point of view, we had our old boys here, and we had 30, 40 odd old boys here, which is start of the 25th year, and Adam making his debut, Lockie playing his first game for the club. So there was a fair bit around the actual game. But the guys did really well to manage the emotion and again focus on what was important, and that was executing their roles.
What did you make of his debut?
Yeah, I thought he was okay. I thought he did a pretty good job, and I've been saying all along that that's all that I expect of him is for him to fulfil his role in the team, and as I've mentioned before also, he's got some pretty handy people around him that help him do that. So I think he had a okay performance. I think he's got some improvement in him, and which we all have, and but I thought it was a good start for him. He's pretty happy there. Like first NRL game, he's had a win like that, and I reminded him I wish they were all like that. But no, it was a positive start for him.
The Dean was saying that the biggest thing he was disappointed about was being out-muscled, really, physicality of battle. How pleasing was that from your end that you were able to set the tone early and essentially keep that going?
Yeah, I mean that's that's the strength of our footy team. We've got some our two wingers are pretty good ball carriers. We've got a fella out the back who's he might not be big, but I'd hope to be in front of him trying to catch him. Let me put it that way. So, and then Peter and Souls. I thought Sol was really strong today, and Nate probing out of dummy half, and we've got some pretty they're not real big boppers, but they do a really effective job. And Bunce and Iggy and Lisa and Sam. So my point is that's our strength. The physicality and we knew we had to bring that today, because I thought early in the game it was a real arm wrestle. It was a tough start to the game. I thought 15 minutes there was a tough football game.
You Nathaniel Roach, after a year out of the NRL, the policy sat around and you were getting to come back and play like that today. Does that give you a bit of a headache when Isaac's back fit?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good headache to have, though. It's not a headache that I'm, going to, lose, sleep over. It's a positive one, and I'm just really pleased for him. I think I've said it before. He's a wonderful young man, and everyone at the club is, we're just really pleased that he's, able to, get out on the field and, put in a performance like he did today. He hasn't, pretty much hasn't played. Had a couple of trial matches in the last 14, 16 months, and he's come out and played like that. So we're just very pleased for him.
Just going back to Christchurch, given everything that happened, did you and the team feel extra responsibility to perform well today, to put on that kind of performance?
Yeah, I'm not too sure if it was an extra responsibility, but it's the magnitude of it all, I don't know if it's quite hit home to everyone, so I think the point that we made was about what we do as a job is as footballers, we get an opportunity to go out and see people potentially have them clapping and smiling and cheering when we're finished, and that's 80 minutes of a bit of happiness in the day after like I said earlier, what's been a pretty horrific day or so. So but essentially it was just about making sure we know you got to do your job first, but I think there was a fair bit that went into the energy of executing that.
It's pretty unbelievable circumstances to be playing a game of footy, and then there's been other sporting events cancelled, so it must have all added to as you said before, to the weight of it all for your players. Yeah,
I could feel it, amongst the lads. They weren't, quite as jovial as what they normally are, and which is understandable. I probably wasn't, like that myself too, because it was, as I said, I sat this morning, watching, the news from 8 till 10, watching from the start to finish, so it was, certainly had an effect.
Stephen, obviously, we talk about the decisions made from the club to administer free admission for people to come. Obviously, talk about games have been stopped. There was in the release that they were trying to bring back unity. I'm sure there were a lot of people around the country that would have been watching the game on TV, trying to get their minds of it. How important was it from the club perspective to play that role in trying to make a statement of solidarity and administer a sort of sense of unity?
Oh, I thought it was a wonderful, initiative. Cameron rang me this afternoon to make me aware of it. But again, that's exactly what it was. We're a footy club. We got, we come, we're a footy club full of all, types of people. Tongans, Samoans, Australians, everything. So, and I think it was really important that, as was said in the press release, that we got on with things, but we did it in a manner where people felt safe at our whare, So, and I thought that was what today was about, and I'm just pleased that we were able to put on a performance that was worthy of that.
Your thoughts on Blake Green?
Blake Green, yeah, he was okay. Yeah, I thought he did pretty good. Again, he's obviously sort of chief, organiser out there, and I thought he did that. He managed parts of the game really well, and that's really important. It's a great lesson for Adam to see how it's done in an NRL game. I mean, we've been doing it at training for 18 weeks and some trials, but to see it in live in the NRL pressure would be really beneficial for Adam.
Andrew, Steve?
Ken, he went up and I think he got a bit of a fright, to be honest, so Ken. Yeah, so when he landed, awkwardly. That's probably a point that, it's worthwhile mentioning. I don't normally talk this long, but, with David's, I reckon there's something needs to be done about that, before someone gets really, badly hurt. And it's not anything to do with the boy Crichton on the wing there, but there was no intention of him going for the footy, but the rule allows him to be able to do that. So, yeah, if I'm defending the kick, so if I'm catching, defence, I can't touch. If I'm trying to get there, I can't touch the defensive catcher. So. I just reckon that needs to be looked at, and because before someone gets really badly hurt.
Have you or the other coaches made submissions to the NRL?
We will be. Yeah, I reckon. Everyone saw today. David just needed to land the wrong way, and it's legal to do that, but he could have ended up in in a really really bad position.
What's the point of that? Why have they?
I'm not sure. Particularly when the defensive, catcher, you can't touch him. So.
So you think the same rule should apply for attacking?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Well, when I look at that today, definitely.
Are you worried that's one of the things that's not until someone's really hurt that there's some reaction to it?
We'll make it off. I think everyone saw when the defensive player, wasn't even going for the footy, and it was, his intention just to, what it looked like. And again, I'm not. It was just to take his legs out. That's. I just think that's, really dangerous.
Steve, just one thought on the game. Was there a turning point in the first half for you? Because we felt like the first 10 or 12 minutes were quite even, and then the Warriors started to get some momentum. So was there a change point for you?
I thought it was pretty consistent in terms of the lads. There wasn't a particular point where we were saying, oh, we got the upper hand here. I just knew we had to be really consistent with the pressure, physical pressure, whether it was through defence or when we were carrying the footy. And a great example with that was probably Rogers' try at the end. We rucked the ball up into that position, and I think Sol had a carry, and young Lewis, had to tackle him. We worked the ball away, and then went to Greeny. Greeny went back to Rog, and then Rog sort of took off. And but again, that comes from putting real pressure on the footy team, and I thought that was a good example of it.
Last year, the Warriors had maybe played second fiddle against some of the really strong clubs. Do you think you're sort of building a team that's not going to happen this year? You can sort of stand up physicality boys to use them?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the case. In terms of playing second fiddle to, we finished one win off the top of the competition. So I think we forwards have to be doing a decent job. But what I do know is I know we got guys in the footy team that have got their best footy ahead of them. So Bunty Afawa, I don't think he's 50 games yet. I might be wrong. Isaiah Papali, he's another young fella, Leeson, who's been around a while. But I think the improvement, where I'm going with this, is the improvement in those players. That's the exciting. That's the exciting part that I like. Thanks, guys.